How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Welcome to Stranger Things Has Happened, everybody. We're season 2, chapter 6, The Spy. As always, I'm joined by the beautiful Lunar Girl.
Thanks.
Are you ready to crack into this?
I am. That's my bro Don Delasnooch.
It's my ficus.
We did take last week off. We were having, Thanksgiving relaxing vibes. So
right.
Sometimes we do that, but we got the nog. Didn't forget the nog.
Spike nog this week. I've decided I don't think it's for me.
Spike nog. So if you're out there, go get yourself some spike nog.
Cheers. I like eggnog quite a bit, and I like alcohol quite a bit. I'm not sure that I enjoy them together.
You might have put too much in, because spike nog tastes best when you can't taste the alcohol.
Yeah, and at that point, why not just separate them? It was better when I added a bunch more eggnog. Like then it was. I mean, it's fine, but it's not. I wouldn't get fucked up on it.
My nog tastes great, but it's not the special secret recipe Christmas eggnog. We saved that for Christmas.
So what kind of eggnog do you get, though? Do you get like the custard eggnog? You get the regular eggnog? You get thick, thin?
I get it's kind of like medium thick, pasteurized, from the store, from a farm, and I put some Christensen Brothers brandy in it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but that's not the special nog. It's just the Kelly nog for a Friday night.
Kelly nog.
It's Kelly nog. It's Lunar nog.
Ooh, it's very spaceshipy.
Because it's December. It's pretty good, though.
Nice.
So, Stranger Things.
Yeah, I mean, they happened.
What did you think?
I thought this episode was great. I didn't think that it was super, like, earth-shattering. It was more like, hey, the story's been saying that these things are going to happen, and here's these things happening.
Yeah, but with a couple of wicked twists involved.
Let's talk about it.
So, this episode, we opened with Will screaming in the lab emergency room.
Being a little bitch.
He is like in excruciating pain, just like screaming these blood-curdling screams. Hopper's there. He's in a different room. He's all naked and stuff, getting hosed off by the guys in the suits, of course, with the little push broom and everything, getting a proper shower. Will we pan back to Will. His heart rate is 220 beats a minute. Like, that is scary high. Right. Because in case you don't know, like, an average person's heart beats about 80 beats a minute, anywhere between 60 and 80 beats a minute. Right. His temperature is freaking 106 degrees. 106
which
degrees.
Is dangerous.
Hella dangerous. He's like
when you start
burning
brain damage.
Up. Yes. He's screaming that it just burns everywhere. It hurts everywhere. And then we flash over to Steve and Dustin, who were on their way to take care of Dart. Steve is still a little suspicious, because Dustin came up out of nowhere last episode. He's asking Dustin, are you sure it's not just a lizard? And Dustin's like, how do you know? And Dustin's like, because his face opened up and he ate my cat, which I still can't get over. That whole cat scene. That was like, whoa. So Steve goes into the basement, into the storm cellar, and he turns on the light. And he finds this grody, disgusting flap of skin. So that tells us Dart must have molted again. And then he finds a hole in the concrete and a tunnel that leads out to the forest. And way off in the distance, we hear Dart growling. So that's that. Next scene. We're at Will's house, and the suits are there. Those crummy lab, CIA, whatever they are, people are they just let themselves into Joyce's house. They're taking pictures of all of Will's drawings, and now we're not there anymore. Now we're back at the hospital in the lab. They're having a board meeting with Joyce. Joyce, she tells off all the doctors, of course, in typical Joyce fashion. And she's like, what is wrong with him? You know, somebody needs to find out what the hell's going on with her son. And I'm completely with her. I'd totally be doing the same thing. We are now at that kooky investigator reporter's house. Okay. It's evening. They just finished packing up all the recordings. They made copies of the recordings to send to all of the media. They addressed, licked, stamped the last episode or envelope, and then he breaks out the vodka. And he's like, it's late. There's a guest room. You guys might as well crash here. Jonathan, I don't know if it's a gentleman or a wuss that he is. He's like, is there a sofa? And the guy's like, what? And freaking, they're like, we're just friends. And he's like, that is a lie.
Right.
And then he starts playing a psychiatrist to the two of them. And he looks at Will and he's like, you've got daddy issues and trust issues. Looks at freaking Nancy. You retreat to safety and you don't really love Steve. You're only with him because it's safe.
Have you ever partied with somebody like that like thinks they fucking know everything about everybody, and then that shit wears real thin real fast?
Yeah, especially when it's true.
Right. Yeah, they get a couple things right and then they just think they got it all figured out.
Yeah. So the guy's like, cut through the bullshit and just share a bed already. Mm-hmm. And he goes to bed. Jonathan finds his couch and Nancy's in the bedroom, and they kind of like come out and, you know, they're half drunk and they awkwardly meet up halfway. And, you know, oh, the reporter's just drunk. He doesn't know what he's talking about. You know, he really doesn't. And they both go back to bed. And in a very predictable fashion, they lay down. They think about it for a couple minutes. They both get up from their beds. They meet halfway again, and they start bow chicka wow wow. You know,
right? Because you know you got to.
Yeah. It was totally all bow chicka wow wow. So, yeah, we knew that was going to happen, but we just didn't know when. Yeah. So now we're over to Erica, Lucas's little sister. And she went into Lucas's room and got his He-Man and started making her Barbie make out with He-Man, which I've done before.
No.
Yeah, not with really He-Man, but with like G.I. Joes and Star Wars figurines.
Not cool.
And strawberry shortcakes, because I really didn't like my Barbie dolls. I had them. I didn't like them. I like my strawberry shortcakes, though. They were pretty cool. And they smelled good. But anyway, so Lucas finds Erica. And he's like, you know, stay out of my room. And Erica's like, well, then tell your little nerdy friend to shut his freaking mouth. And Lucas is like, what was going on? And Erica tells him about the code red. And Lucas is like, oh, shit. Goes and finally walkies Dustin, who is with Steve. And they're getting meat and gasoline. Dustin tells Lucas that Dark grew. He escaped. He's pretty sure that he's a baby Demogorgon, and to get his ass over to the old junkyard with binoculars and his wrist rockets.
Right.
So Lucas is like in oh shit mode now.
It's a code red.
It's a code red.
This chick touched my butt.
Yeah. Freaking Erica. Chick touched your butt.
Yeah, it's code red.
I never heard that before. Is that like a high school thing?
No, I'm just making it up as I go. I don't really know stuff.
Damn it, I believed you. Yeah. I'm way too naive with you guys.
Chick touched my butt.
I have to start not believing anything that you say.
No, yeah, absolutely. You don't want to do that.
I don't know why I still do. You know, you think I would have learned my lesson like 3 years ago. So.
I don't think you do it. I don't think you're gonna.
I know. I like to punish myself.
It's
fun. Torture. Yep. So now we're with Hopper. Hopper's in his cell and in a hospital gown, and he's throwing up again. Dr. Paul Reiser walks in.
Dr. Reiser.
What's
the guy's real name? Doesn't matter.
I wrote it down.
Dr. Weenus.
Dr. Sam. His real name is Sam. And I only found that out towards the end of the episode because I can never remember his name. And you know what? Next week, I won't remember his name again. So some things just don't stick. But Dr. Paul Reiser, that sticks. So Dr. Paul says, you got a green light. You know, you can get out of here. But first, put on this hazmat suit. And they go downstairs to the upside down room. And Dr. Paul is telling him how this thing adapted and spread. So,
right.
Which we already knew. We already knew the thing evolved. So, now we're with Bob and Joyce, and they're having a little moment. And Joyce is telling Bob, like, I wanted to tell you, but they made us sign a confidentiality statement. You know, it couldn't tell anybody.
How long is Joyce going to bang Rudy before we get down to the brass tacks and she gets to sleep with fucking Hopper?
I know, right? I just want to see those two get together. But she's playing it safe with Bob.
Yeah.
Who... Bob is all like, I used to make movies and write comics about Bob Newby, the superhero.
Yeah. Fucking
dude.
Bob. Rudy.
You know what, though? Bob would probably be one of my best friends if he was real.
Bob seems like a good dude.
Yeah, but not for Joyce. I mean, he's good for Joyce, but there's no passion there.
No.
It's just Bob.
It's Rudy.
You know? Yeah. Sam. Fucking Sam
Gamby.
Fucking Sam. Taters.
Why don't you go for a walk, Sam?
Brandy. Tastes pretty good. Anyway. This is going to be a fun episode, dude. Bob's all like, you warned me that you're not a normal family, you know, and how about moving to Maine with me? You know, like, really, Bob? You bring it up in the fucking hospital, you know, with her son going through God knows what? Like, yeah, move to Maine. Yeah. So Will wakes up, and Bob immediately goes and gets the doctor. And Will doesn't know who the fuck Bob is anymore, so something's going on.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the fever.
That should have been their first clue right there. Like,
yeah. Fever of 106.
Kid has amnesia, but like 5 minutes later, we're going to trust him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Clearly. I mean, at this point, you got to.
I would. Yeah. So now we're back at that kooky investigator's house, okay? He's making them breakfast, you know, and they're like sitting at the breakfast table and everybody's all awkward and everything. And the investigator guy was like, so how is the pullout?
Pullout game strong.
I'm like, pull out. They knew damn well what they were saying when they said pull out.
Mhm.
So Nancy's all like, oh my gosh, he knows. They have some breakfast. They have the big long talk. Nancy calls Karen. Jonathan can't reach his family. They decide to leave. But first, fucking Karen. First, the guy gives them a bottle of vodka and a bottle of tonic. Said, keep your eyes on the papers and never speak to me again.
Yeah, I thought that was fucked up. He's like, and don't just leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, right? It's so fitting, though.
Yeah, totally. Like, set everything up. Like, hey, we're friends now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, don't fucking bother me. I don't even want to hear from you.
Yeah, seriously. So now we pan over to Lucas, who goes to Max's house, which is something that he was told never ever to do. But he went to fucking Max's house. Mm-hmm. And he's like, Max, I have proof. And of course, Billy the Dick is in there.
Billy the Dick.
He's working out, getting all swole, drinking beers and smoking cigarettes. And
that's the most 80s thing, too. Mm-hmm. Like the fact that like you'd be sitting there lifting weights and crushing beers.
And smoking cigarettes during the workout. Yeah, like who does that? You don't smoke during a workout. How do you even breathe? But
that was the 80s though, bro. It was like you go, you know, it'd be hard as 7 nails.
It's true. Mm-hmm. It's true. Was he wearing a bandana? Now I'm wondering, like, if he was that folded down bandana. Yeah, because like Goonie that's style, bro. 80s Goonie style. Yes. DB wears his bandana like that sometimes still. Mm-hmm. 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 I think it's part of his midlife crisis, but he looks pretty damn cute when he does it. So.
Oh, I mean, that's what I get hard.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Always. Because we're Gen X.
Yeah.
So Max is like, they're just freaking Mormons, you know, and I slammed the door in their face, and Billy's like, oh, okay. And he goes back to doing what Billy does best, being an asshole. But, you know, we're done with that scene anyway. So yeah, Will is talking to Dr. Paul. Mike is there. Dr. Paul's like, you know, what's going on? And Will is like, your soldiers hurt me. They shouldn't have done that. Like, he's like all sing-songy and cryptic and shit. It really upset him. They're like, who's him? Then they have like this vine, like part of the vine, okay, in the box, okay? It's in a box.
What's in the box?
A vine, a piece of a vine.
It's a dick in the box.
Sneaky. So the fucking doctors, they start torching this vine, okay? And Will is like, it stings. And they're like, where? He's like, right in my chest. It stings. And they keep burning the fucking thing, okay? And Will's like, it burns everywhere. He's starting to get upset. Joyce is screaming for Hopper, you know, stop. They go out in the hallway. They stop, by the way. And then they go out in the hallway, you know, Hopper, Joyce, and Dr. Paul Reiser. He starts explaining,
Dr. Pepper.
He starts explaining that the virus is causing a neurological disorder in Will. It's got a hive mentality, and intelligence is connecting all hosts. So there could be a piece over there and a piece over here and a piece up there and a piece in Will, and it's connecting all the hosts. So there's got to be a cure, though. Joyce is like, what happens when he can't fucking remember anything? And she starts crying.
I think the cure is to kill the monster.
Kill them. Well, duh. I mean, how many video games? Well, they probably haven't had any video games, but yeah, I mean, if you want to kill the little guys, you go after the boss guy. You know, if you want to kill all the vampires, you go after the boss vampire. I mean, come on. Everybody knows this.
Basic rules of
Dr. Paul.
engagement.
Yeah.
Fuck Dr. Paul. He don't know shit.
Yeah, fuck Dr. Paul.
Riser.
So now Steve and Dustin are leaving a meat trail on the tracks. Steve is like, "You trying to impress a girl?" And Steve is like, "Oh, you want to know how to impress a girl?" is what Steve says. Okay, and it's not with your hair. You know, you have to act like you don't care because it drives chicks nuts.
It kind of does.
It only makes me angry. I don't know. Maybe I'm different. It makes me angry. It doesn't make me more attracted. If somebody's ghosting me, then like, fuck off. I'm done.
Oh, no, you don't ghost. It's just a matter of you act like you're not interested. I'm terrible at this. It's a strategy that I can't employ. Like, if I'm interested, I'm like, hello, I'm interested.
Well, that's because you're like a snuggle bear, you know, like there's a difference.
I am very like, I'm terrible at the misdirect.
Yeah, you're too much of a snuggle bear. But you know what? There's chicks that like snuggle bears.
That's a lie.
Don't lose. No, I'm serious. There are chicks that like snuggle bears.
No,
okay,
it's a lie.
Just don't be weird.
I'm always weird.
Well, you can't be weird. You have to be a snuggle bear and not be weird.
But I mean, clearly.
Yeah. It's okay. I'll help you. Where was I? Act like you don't care. It drives them nuts, you know. And just when you feel the sexual electricity, that's when you make your move.
Yeah.
And Dustin's like,
you can fart in front of him.
No,
See?
never fart in front of them. No, that doesn't work.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
It's not though. It's really not.
See, that's how it happens.
No, never fart in front of them. There's other rooms and there's a bathroom. Go outside where she can't hear you. You don't fart in front of them.
That's not how it works.
That is how it works. We'll chat.
Snuggle bear.
So Dustin's like, so that's how you got Nancy? And Steve is like, no, Nancy's different. Just don't fall in love. And they're laughing about the hair. And Steve comes out and says how he gets his hair so perfect. He uses Farrah Fawcett spray.
That's funny, dude.
That is so funny.
That was the funniest thing.
I mean, okay, all of us who grew up in the 80s, we know Farrah Fawcett. She had the big hair. Like everybody in the 80s had the big hair and the beautiful angel wings. And
my ex-mother-in-law still does her hair like that.
You are kidding me. Still?
I'm dead serious. I just like, I don't understand. Like, why?
Wow. No, I stopped doing my hair like that in the early 90s. Yeah. Anyway.
Don't do it.
So we all had a good laugh over that.
That's like farting on the first date.
No, don't fart on the first date.
Yeah, that's Farrah Fawcett hair.
Farrah Fawcett hair. That's really funny. Steve does have good hair, though.
Steve with the good hair.
Steve with the good hair. So
that's what we call him.
Now we see. Fuck Steve? We're fucking Steve?
No, we're not.
You're not?
No, I'm not.
I'm not fucking Steve.
All right.
I like Steve. I like Steve now. I don't want to say fuck Steve. I feel bad that Nancy doesn't have her shit together, and now she's got two guys, you know? So, like, Nancy, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
but she wasn't supposed to be with Steve in the first place.
Yeah, that's true.
Story
But
pretty
Steve went
much.
over to the light side. He went over to the good side. So now I like him.
Yeah, but I mean, the story really telegraphed the whole time that she was supposed to be with Jonathan.
She was supposed to be with Jonathan. We got to find a good chick for Steve. Hopefully the writers did that, but we shall see.
Winona Riders.
She's for Hopper.
Yeah, well, she can hop on pop.
Nice. Speaking of Hopper, he goes out to his truck and he grabs the CB and he apologizes to Elle about everything. He's crying. He tells her to make sure you eat, not just like Eggo waffles. Make sure you eat something healthy, and he'll be home soon.
Waffles are good.
Yeah, but Elle's not there to hear this. Like, he's just crying and apologizing to an empty home. That was sad.
Yeah,
It
where
was really sad.
is Elle over at her mom's still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Elle is still over at her mom's. Remember, Aunt Becky said that she has a room for her and showed her her old room and said that she'll take out the crib and, you know, you're
Aunt
home
Becky
now.
with the bad hair.
Aunt Becky with the bad hair. Yeah. So now we're back at the lab again. We're comparing the brain scans, you know, the scan from a couple days ago versus the scan that they just took in the lab emergency room. There's bigger the one doctor is like, screw the boy, there's bigger problems than the boy. Dr. Paul Reiser actually gets pissed off over this. And the other doctors are like, we're going to start the burn. You know, he'll be gone by the end of the day, regardless of us helping him.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Paul is like, fuck off. You're not doing that. And I'm going to think. So he leaves. So Dr. Paul actually was the good guy in this instance.
Which is weird because he's been pretty douchebaggy shitty.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder, like, is he being the good guy because he wants to help or because he wants to do the science?
I know.
And I think it's actually he just doesn't want them to overload the kids so that he can fucking work on the science.
You think so? You think it's the science and not the humanitarian that might be lurking inside him?
I totally think it's the science.
Yeah. Interesting. I guess we'll find out soon. So Bob calms Joyce down. Joyce is arguing with the guards. And the thing inside Will is looking out Will's eyes and sees Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Sees the gun. And he's like, oh, wait, I know how to stop him. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden, Will knows how to stop it.
Yeah, he does.
And all of a sudden, I have a tickle in my throat. So
that's the fucking eggnog.
It's probably a fucking nutmeg. Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
It's a nutmeg?
It's a nutmeg.
You know what that means?
What?
Nothing. It doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything. But it's making me guzzle the fucking eggnog, which has I put a lot of brandy in that. So, like, woohoo. Anyway. So we're at the junkyard, okay? And Dustin finally sees Lucas. And they start talking. And they're like, something's wrong. And then Steve is like, hey, dickhead, how come the only one helping is a random girl? Because, they finally met Max and stuff like that. And then as soon as we get there, and I want to know more about the junkyard, we're back to Nancy and fucking Jonathan. And they get to Jonathan's home, and they see all of the drawings all over the place. And they see that it's a shadow monster. And they see a fucking Polaroid cartridge. And Jonathan immediately knows that somebody's broken into the house.
In the 80s, saw a empty Polaroid cartridge, and your parents had been home alone, it meant somebody got some naughty pictures. That's what that meant.
Well, he must not have thought of that, because he immediately knew somebody broke in the house. So I guess maybe Bob and Joyce aren't bow chicka wow wowing.
Exactly 10 naked pictures.
Ew. Ew.
Big belly Bob.
Yeah, Bob.
Sam Gaines, you got thick. You know what? That fucker ain't walking nowhere no more.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So, next, we're back at Will. They're showing Will pictures on the board table. Okay. He's like in the boardroom. Dr. Sam, which is Dr. Paul Reiser. Do we want to keep calling him Dr. Paul, though? Because, I'm not going to remember Sam in the next episode.
No, you're fine. Just call him whatever. Call him Big Fucker. I don't care.
Dr. Pigfucker, okay, is helping. The other doctor is arguing. Yeah, Dr. Pigfucker.
Dr. Pigfucker. And his assistant, Dr. Chicken Fucker.
Dr. Chicken Fucker. Hopper tells the other doctor to just shut up because they're arguing. Will points to the spot on the map, on the pictures, says that's it. The G spot. Yeah, last night Brady said he didn't know where the G spot was.
Yeah, I don't think he does.
Yeah, I know. But he does have 5 kids, so you never know.
That just means that he spends time searching.
Oh. That's funny. Too bad Brady doesn't watch our show.
He wouldn't think that was funny at all. He'd be like, motherfuckers, I know where the G spot is. I wrote the book on that shit.
Well, then I'll just have to go and pull the clip of last night that he said he didn't know where the G spot was. I should do that anyway. That's a funny clip. Anyway, guys, if you want to know what I'm talking about, go check out the HESW, the Escape Pod episode on Andor, the whole effing thing, and you will know exactly what I'm talking about. So
Brady won't
then give it a like, and then
2.5 hours he didn't find it.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, go watch that episode, and then go on Apple or go on the Escape Pod's Facebook page and write a review. Click, screen capture it, send it to me. Send it to me at either Instagram or Twitter of the Escape Pod, and I will send you swag from the Escape Pod.
Or you could review this show.
Or you can review this show. Wait a minute. We don't have a Facebook page and we're not on Apple.
Oh, yeah. Don't do anything.
Don't do anything with Stranger Things. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely don't put them in your mouth.
Don't put them in your mouth.
Stranger Things.
Yeah. It might happen.
Sure.
So Will's pointing to this spot, okay? And he's like, that's the spot. I can't see what it is. He doesn't want me to see what it is, so it's something important. And then everybody suits up and they get a gun. And we're back at the junkyard. They're fortifying the bus, okay? They put a ladder in the bus. There's barrels. We flash back to the lab. There's tons of suits, and they're all grabbing weapons. We're at the junkyard. They're throwing gasoline trails down. We're back at the lab. You see the ladder like elevator flashing before you.
Elevator. That's Darth's sister.
Elevator. That's a dad joke.
It is.
Such a dad joke. The mic guy, the guy who sits in the chair in the lab and talks over the mic.
Mhm.
You see him with Will's map in front of him, okay?
Special Agent Pigfucker.
He really is a pig fucker. He looks like he would be like stuffing his face with Doritos or some shit while he's working.
Right.
It just reminds me of that person.
He's like the security guard in Terminator 2 that's always getting some coffee or some shit.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So we're back at the junkyard. The gang goes in the bus. We're back at the lab. The suits go into the upside down. Okay. And now we're back at the junkyard again. It pauses for a little bit. So Lucas is the lookout with Max on top of the bus. Okay. Dustin, I don't know. I wrote idiot go home, but I don't know what that means. Steve is getting
I don't know what that means either.
I don't know what that means either. Max is talking about how her parents got divorced. Okay, we're getting a little deep now and a little insight into Max's life. Her dad lives in California. Billy is her stepbrother.
So I was a little confused by this.
Yeah.
She's explaining what a divorce is.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like in the 80s people didn't know what divorces were?
In 1984, I really didn't know of anybody who got divorced yet.
See, when I was that age, like my friend's parents got divorced. So like I guess it wasn't obscure to me because it was the thing that happened like it happened in my childhood,
Right. Well, maybe they were in such a wholesome neighborhood. Maybe she just needed to explain
there was
it
things
to him.
happening to my friend's dad's wife's wholesome.
Right.
Lots of things were happening there.
I bet. But that's real life and it's not TV.
That's true.
So maybe Hawkins is like, nobody ever gets divorced. Wait, no, Joyce got divorced.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who knows why she was telling him what a divorce was.
But she, like, as a matter of fact, she was like, well, when two people don't love each other, like it was like the birds and the bees in reverse.
Yeah. Maybe Lucas is just dumb.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So Billy's her stepbrother. He's angry all the time and takes it out on her. He's angry, sorry, Mad Max, and the stalker. That's what Billy calls them.
Right.
But now they hear a growl, okay? And they're like, 10 o'clock, it's not taking the bait. Well, maybe it's sick of eating cow. Sick of eating cow. A Demogorgon, sick of eating cow. So Steve grabs his bat. He's gonna expand the menu. Steve gets closer, and holy shit, another Demogorgon appears.
2 more.
They scream abort, and now there's 3 of them. At the junkyard, somebody's gonna die. Steve gets in the bus, grabs the bats, goes on the roof, and then you hear like screech.
Say that
and
again.
Screech.
Well done.
He's like, "You want some? Come get some." Max screams, okay, because like this is. She thought that they were lying this whole time, so now she's seeing it's fucking real. Lucas hands runs, or they run away. Lucas and Max are holding hands. Okay. Like, and Dustin turns around and sees them holding hands. So
I thought that was super fucking cute, where they were holding hands, but then they were like, "No, we're not holding hands.
We're not holding hands." But Dustin, poor little Dustin's gonna get his heart broken. So like they're all wondering what the hell just happened, and all of the Demogorgons just stopped like exactly where they were and turned around, and they all left.
Yep.
They're all going somewhere. So now we're looking at the suits in the upside down. And
It's
here's
super
where,
good too, because those Demogorgons, bargains. What the fuck? They were gonna fuck them up. I mean,
yeah.
they didn't have any problem tearing into that bus.
Yes, exactly.
I thought that was like really telling, like, because I was wondering like how the one Demogorgon made it through the wall. Like, apparently they can just like tear up whatever the fuck they want.
They're Demogorgons. Of course they could do whatever the fuck they want. Who's gonna stop them?
Yeah, I mean they could just punch through the side of a bus or
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So now we know.
And they're not like all out Demogorgons. They're like Demogorgon lizards. So they're still like kid Demogorgons.
Yeah.
I don't know. We see the suits in the upside down. Okay. And they finally get to X marks the spot on Will's map. It's exactly where Hopper was. Like when Hopper was underneath all the vines and shit. It's a graveyard. There are bones freaking everywhere. Okay. And then they realize that they're full of shit. And they hear a growl in the fog. We pan over to Will, who's back in his hospital room. Will is crying. He's apologizing. He made me do it. You know, Mike is listening to this. Mike is with him. He's like, he's a spy. It's a trap. It's too late to save them. And they all fucking start dying. And you see all of these fucking red dots going over, like all these fucking red dots going on their little blip map that you know, Dorito man, pig fuckers, you know.
Pig fucker.
Yeah. And like you realize that they're all Demogorgons and they're all going into the upside down.
Remember at the beginning of this when we were like, I think there's only one Demogorgon.
Yeah, I was totally wrong. There's Demogorgons all over the fucking place.
These motherfuckers are everywhere.
And they're all moving. And Will is like, you should go now.
Yeah.
Hopper hears the growling, starts laughing. They're almost here. Hopper sees the monster. The end.
Yep. Drop a fucking nuke in that hole.
Holy fuck. Oh, but they can't drop a nuke in the hole because fucking Will die.
Fuck Will.
Fuck Will. No,
this is all fucking Will's fault any fucking way.
It's not his fault. He's possessed.
He did.
Remember, the smoke went into his nose. If anything, it's Bob's fault because Bob told Will to go find your monster and stand up for yourself and say, I'm not afraid of you. And Will went out and said, I'm not afraid of you. And remember, all the smoke came from the monster and went up his nose and in his ears and through his eyeballs and
I remember.
Everything.
I remember, but I also know that, like, everybody was fine, and then Will had to go get lost in the woods, and then all of this other shit happened. We just gotta kill Will.
Don't kill Will. It's not Will's fault.
Man.
It's not Will's fault.
What if he works like a fucking uh voodoo doll, and we can stab him, and then the other thing, the tornado monster
Tornado monster.
will die. What the fuck's that called again?
I don't know.
Shadow something or other.
Shadow demon. We'll just call him a shadow demon.
Yeah,
I like tornado monster better.
Yeah, so we can just stab Will.
I don't think you should stab Will.
Stab a kid. It's fun.
No, don't stab Will.
I think that
stab a kid.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Punch a baby, stab a kid, kill a tornado monster. Merry Christmas.
Poor children.
They survived mostly.
I think they're alive, right? They're alive, right?
They're alive-ish.
Florida and Texas?
No.
Is that where they live?
TJ moved home.
Get out.
Yeah, she moved home. Things stopped working out down there, so she lives here now.
She lived in like Hallmark land, didn't she?
Yeah, she lived in Celebration, Disney Celebration.
Yeah. You were saying it was like a Hallmark movie, or
Yeah.
they film Hallmark movies there or something like that.
Yeah, there were things happening there that weren't Hallmarky.
Ooh. We'll have to talk sometime.
Maybe.
Yeah. So that's the end of the episode.
Yep, it was a good episode, but like I said at the beginning, it was 2 or 3 different subplots had to come together. Some things had to happen. Like, we knew they were coming. They had to work themselves out. That's how stories work. And this was one of those episodes. It was, I wouldn't say it's a filler episode because it wasn't.
No, it's connecting.
Connecting
Jonathan and Nancy with Dustin and Steve, with Lucas and Max, and everybody's still at the hospital, the lab hospitals. So we haven't connected those guys yet, but it's coming.
All connective tissue. It's all the stuff that makes the story stand up. So, I mean, it's a good episode. It just, there was no
Elle in this episode.
Yeah.
The next episode has got to be with Elle.
It's probably all Elle.
It's got to be. I mean, there was no Elle in this episode.
Probably no other kids. It'll be all Elle. Yeah. It'll be like a bottle episode. It'll all take place at the house, and it'll be all small, flashbacky.
Yeah. So that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed your eggnog and our
I did it.
retelling of episode 6, The Spy.
Next time I'm just going to drink and then have eggnog.
How about next time we just drink? Oh, what do you want to drink next week?
Ooh, I don't know. It's Christmas time.
It is Christmas time. So that means like drinking on a Friday night is like, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever had cranberry ginger ale?
Yes.
Get some of that, and then we'll spike that.
Oh, yes. I like the way you think. Oh, you want to spike it with vodka?
Oh, I can do that.
Oh, let's do that. Okay. Everybody watching, join us next week with a vodka cran. Cran ginger ale.
Yeah. And if you can't find cranberry ginger ale, you can get cranberry juice.
Yeah.
Put ginger ale in it.
Or like that Ina Garden, the Barefoot Contessa. If you can't find the good cranberry ginger ale, the store brand will do just fine.
Oh, I get it's not Schweppes, but
Canada Dry.
Canada Dry makes
yes. That's the good ginger ale. It's good.
All right, that's the plan.
Done. Woohoo.
All
Bye,
right.
friends.
Say good night. Good night.
Night.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye.